my foot, and I distinctly remember this, the nurse saying to me, "We're spraying your foot cold because last time we did something similar to this, you kicked out at us. Now we've sprayed your foot, you won't be kicking anyone."
Sean Dunderdale.
Tomorrow morning from 10 on BBC Radio Humberside.
BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Well, with 5 minutes to go until kick-off in our two big match commentaries, let's get a quick thought from our respective commentary teams, and we'll start at Blundell Park. Grimsby Town at home to Newport County in League 2 with Matt D.
Well, David Artell has never lost 3 consecutive games since joining as boss in November 23, Ollie. Such has been the improving standard, and he won't want that to happen today, as that would put a serious dent in Town's bid for a top 7 position. He's making just a single change from the side that lost against Salford a week ago. Jayden Luca is benched, Luca Barrington is back in the 11, and Jordan Davies is back in amongst the substitutes after a 9-week injury absence. The team's coming out here. Grimsby Town at home to Newport County is live on FM 95.9 and Freeview 713.
And here at Scunthorpe United, this game at Glanford Park set to break the National League North attendance record for the 3rd time in a year. The Iron looking for their first victory over Chester in over 26 years, and it would be a massive statement in terms of their National League North title tilt. Full match commentary to come on digital radio as well as online via BBC Sounds here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Getting you closer to your club. BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Let's get you to where you need to be then on 95.9 FM and Freeview Channel 713. It's Grimsby Town at home to Newport County in League 2. Your commentary team at Blundell Park, Matt Dean alongside the former Town defender Gary Croft. And here at Glanford Park on digital radio, online via BBC Sounds, Scunthorpe United against Chester with myself and the former Iron striker Steve Torpey. Make your choice now. Well, you couldn't wish for a better advert for non-league football on the day that it celebrates it, because here at Glanford Park we've got what looks to be a record-breaking attendance in this division for a top of the table clash between the league leaders Scunthorpe United and Chester, 2 points behind in second. And of course these two sides have also got Brackley Town and Kidderminster Harriers hot on their heels in 3rd and 4th respectively. The two sets of players currently in the centre circle at the moment behind a 3-up banner, put football first. That's the National League's campaign to make it that 3 sides go up from the National League into the EFL, and both sets of players showing their backing for that campaign here at Glanford Park. So the supporters here doing their bit. Over 8,200 tickets sold according to the last update yesterday. Now it's the turn of the players, and we'll run you through the team news for both sides. For Scunthorpe United, the headline news is that Danny Whitehall is not involved. He has not made it back in time from a knee injury, so he's out. Ollie Rose also absent as well after picking up a calf injury in that 1-0 defeat at Kidderminster Harriers on Tuesday night. He's one of 2 changes to the starting 11, with Mark Beck also making way. He drops down to the bench. Michael Kelly comes in along with Alfie Beeston. So Ross Fitzsimons is the goalkeeper. Michael Kelly we think will slot in at right back. Maxime Coogan and Will Evans are the 2 centre halves, with Tyler Denton at left back. A 3-man midfield of Kean Scales, Joe Rowley and Michael Clunan the captain, with a front 3 of Callum Roberts, Colton Ubazonu and Alfie Beeston. On the bench for the Iron, Andrew Boyce, Mark Beck, Joe Starbuck, Luke Williams and Mo Federa. For Chester, they also make 2 changes to the starting 11, which won 1-0 at home to Leamington last weekend. The former Iron player Jack Lambert drops out, as does Dan Mooney, both down on the bench. Jack Bainbridge and Ewan Murray come into the starting lineup. So Jimmy Storer is the goalkeeper. The back four: Kevin Roberts, Connell Rawlinson the captain, Harrison Burke and Nathan Woodthorpe. Taylor O'Kane, Declan Weeks and Jack Bainbridge in midfield, with Ewan Murray playing behind a front two of Tom Pearce and Connor Woods. On the bench for Chester: Kurt Willoughby, Jack Lambert, Dylan Motley-Henry, Tom Leake and Dan Mooney. Our referee this afternoon is Declan Brown. His assistant referees are George Eaton and Gavin Scott, and the fourth official is Samuel Clayton. As we are underway then here at Glanford Park, first against second in the National League North, Scunthorpe United against Chester, and you'll hear every kick live here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. If you haven't got a ticket for this one, it's on digital radio, and you can take us with you on this Saturday afternoon via the BBC Sounds app. Scunthorpe United attacking from left to right in this first half towards the south stand, which is sold out with the visiting Chester supporters in their claret and blue striped shirts, blue shorts with claret trim and blue socks, as tackles are flying in already. Chester shooting from right to left towards the Donny Road end, also similarly packed. Yellow shirts, yellow shorts, yellow socks. So throw in for Scunthorpe United on the far side after a thunderous opening minute to this game, and Tyler Denton is going to take it. Hurls the ball into Kean Scales, but he's lost possession, tries to win it back, but Chester have it as it's smashed forward by Connor Woods, the January signing, looking for Tom Pearce, the Seals' top scorer this season, but he's flagged offside, and it's a Scunthorpe United free kick, which is played across the heart of defence from Will Evans to Maxime Coogan. Now here is Michael Kelly at right back. Of course, he's so often going to be forced inside on his stronger left foot. We saw Solihull Morse take advantage of that in the FA Trophy last season, as it's dinked forward by Kelly. A header inside from Ubazonu, cleared away by Harrison Burke for Chester. There's a flick on, but the loose ball is picked up immediately by Maxime Coogan, floated over the top. Ubazonu will go and chase it down, but it's collected inside the Chester penalty area by the Wolverhampton Wanderers loanee Jimmy Storer. Let's bring in your expert summariser for this one, the former Scunthorpe United striker Steve Torpey. Steve, what have you made of the opening 2 minutes?
Yeah, it's been quite a lively encounter, as you'd imagine. Just a little change in kind of positional play for Alfie Beeston and Cal Roberts, and kind of switched sides. Cal Roberts on the left hand side today, and Alfie Beeston starting on that left hand side. Alfie Beeston starting on the right, Ubazonu down the middle. You've got Joe Rowley and Kean Scales kind of more advanced, and Michael Clune just sitting a little bit deeper in his usual kind of number 4 role. So yeah, a little change in tactical there. I'm sure they can change that throughout the 90 minutes, but yeah, I wonder what's the rationale behind that. It may be because they're Tuesday and they're doubling up, and all of a sudden they've changed that, and just gives Chester something else to think about.
I also wonder if there's a tactic there with Kevin Roberts being the right back, as I'll break off from that thought. Chester on the attack here, it comes to nothing, but ball is still alive. Shot comes in from 20 yards, but it is wide of Ross Fitzsimon's right hand post from Ewan Murray. The first chance of the game goes Chester's way as they broke at lightning speed forward. Player down here for the visitors. It looks like Connor Woods is on his knees at the moment, but is back up onto his feet as Declan Brown goes to check that he's okay. As I was saying, Kevin Roberts is at right back. He's down that flank with Callum Roberts, and Kevin himself is 35 years of age, so perhaps Andy Butler has spotted something there. But Kevin Roberts, a veteran defender, became the third player to make 200 appearances for Chester earlier this month in the defeat away at Chorley. Of course, started his career at the old Chester City before the club was wound up back in 2010. Throw in here for Scunthorpe United, a couple of yards behind the halfway line on the right. Kelly goes back into the centre of defence here with Maxime Coogan. Now the ball is with Ross Fitzsimons, who was beaten by that cross from Maz Kuyar from the left in Tuesday night's 1-0 defeat away at Kidderminster Harriers. And Fitzsimons has the ball static inside his own D. Slices it over to the right hand side. It flies over Alfie Beeston's head as well as Nathan Woodthorpe's. Neither got a touch on the ball, so it's a Chester throw midway inside the visitors' half on the left. And Nathan Woodthorpe is going to take it. His dad, Colin, played for Chester City and is currently the club's assistant manager alongside Callum McIntyre. Scunthorpe United win the ball back quickly from Chester's throw, and they'll play out from their own penalty area here with Tyler Denton. Michael Kelly has got his arm up here on this near side to signal that he's free in space, and here is Michael Kelly on the ball. Sends it down the right hand channel. It should be comfortable enough for Nathan Woodthorpe to deal with as he's barged over by Alfie Beeston. There's a bit of a tangle by the corner flag, but it'll just be a goal kick in the end for Chester.
Yeah, just a bit of a straight ball from Kelly there. It just needs to put a little bit less weight on the ball and just run out of play. Defender done well just to see it out, but that's what I need to, because this pitch is starting to get a little bit dry and a little bit flat. Those straight balls do run out of play that we've spoke about throughout the season.
Goal kick, Jimmy Story takes it. He's kept a clean sheet in every other game he's played so far on loan for Chester prior to this one. Ball back with Ross Fitzsimons. Right-footed, swings it over to the left-hand side. Here is Tyler Denton, brings the ball under control. Now it's Michael Clunan. Scunthorpe United still operating inside their own half with just over 5.5 minutes gone here at Glanford Park. Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0. Brilliant ball that from left to right from Will Evans, picking out the forward run from Michael Kelly. Into the penalty area it goes. Rawlinson's there first ahead of Alfie Beeston, but has to concede the throw-in. And there you can hear the home supporters getting behind their side.
Yeah, great ball from Will Evans. We've seen that throughout the season with him switching the play. Great ball to Kelly. It's a nice threaded ball to Beeston, resulting in a corner. So first little bit of kind of opportunities, I was saying, is attacking third for Scunthorpe.
It's actually a corner in the end for Scunthorpe United from the right hand side. Don't apologise, it was me who made the error. Callum Roberts, left footed, swings it into the 6-yard area. Well claimed by Jimmy Storer in that lilac goalkeeping shirt, with a darker shade of purple in terms of the shorts and the socks, and he will just slow play down here, lets his team move up the park, bounces the ball inside his own penalty area. Storer, right-footed volley into Scunthorpe United territory. Pears watches it come down. It's allowed to bounce once. Michael Kelly will put his body in front of Pears and shepherds it out for a throw-in, which Kelly takes, goes back into his own penalty area to Ross Fitzsimons, and Fitzsimons attempting that tactic again of gliding the ball over to the left to Tyler Denton. Denton with the forward pass, it's dummied by Callum Roberts, but a heavy touch off the toe of Kean Scales will knock that out for a goal kick to Chester.
Yeah, just looking at the Chester goal kick there, it was a real old-fashioned up and under. I don't think they're going to really try and play out as much as some teams what we've seen. They're quite direct, looking for second balls, even though they've got massive height within the team, especially in the forward areas, but they're going to go a little bit more direct from the start, and we'd like to have headed that ball come down with snow on.
Well, they have work to do to beat Jimmy Storer, 6'5" goalkeeper, born in Buxton, but is capped at under-19 level by the Republic of Ireland. Joe Rowley brings the ball down in midfield for the Iron. Now it's Alfie Beeston. He's looking over his shoulder to see what's on in front of him. Tries to play the first-time pass, which is cut out by Nathan Woodthorpe. And here is Ewan Murray. A heavy first touch from him, and Alfie Beeston goes sliding in. Wins the ball cleanly. Thundered into the path of Joe Rowley. He wins the throw-in. Plenty of endeavour out there so far in the opening 8 minutes. Michael Kelly back into the heart of defence with Maxine Coogan, and here is Ross Fitzsimons to his left hand side. Now it's Tyler Denton on that left hand touchline, into the middle. Evans with the long ball forward, more central on this occasion. Header away by Woodthorpe, but he only finds Kean Scales as his pocket picked by Declan Weeks, and the ball is stabbed back to goalkeeper Jimmy Storer.
Yeah, it just needs to be a little bit quicker, Kean Scales there. He had a little bit too much time, took his touch, got his head up. You can't afford that. You have to have that picture before you actually receive it. Really quick play, move the ball quickly, speed of the ball, get that to Roberts, and do his bits of magic.
Kelly with a thunderous volley into the Chester half. Rawlinson is going to let Storer deal with it outside of his own penalty area at the moment, and he's lashed a volley, well, a half volley, straight out of play for a Scunthorpe United throw-in high up the park. That'll be Michael Kelly to take it. He did tell me, Michael Kelly, after the game against Farnsley Celtic, that he thought that may have been his last league start of the season. Well, he has been proved wrong this afternoon. You can find that interview on BBC Sounds. As a throw from Kelly finds Joe Rowley, pirouettes away from his man and then pushes the ball back to Michael Kelly on that right-hand side. Just runs straight into Jack Bainbridge, but gets the throw in. Kelly dinked in looking for Rowley. Clearance away. Michael Clunan with the header on. Rowley should get there first. Puts his body in between the ball and his man Woodthorpe. Tries to fire in the cross. It's blocked. It will go out for another corner kick.
Yeah, good play. You're not going to get much out there, and probably the best result was a corner of throw-in and resulting in another corner for Scunthorpe. Can Cal Roberts just put a little bit less height on the ball? So it's just inviting the goalkeeper to come and collect that ball. A 6'5", like you say. You don't want to make it too easy for him.
10 minutes gone on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0. In comes the corner kick, header away inside the Seals penalty area. Keane Scales picks up the loose ball. He's trying to get free of Pears, leaves it for Tyler Denton, takes a heavy touch away from his man, room to run into, delivers the cross, blocked by Declan Weeks, out for another corner kick to the eye. Well, it's actually a throw-in the end. I'm getting these well wrong so far in the opening 10 minutes. But it's a throw-in level with the Chester penalty area. Denton into Callum Roberts, tries to feed that back inside. The pass is just behind Michael Clunan, but he does well to retrieve the situation. Kelly drives it over to the left, picks out Tyler Denton on that far side, back to Roberts. First time in swinging across, header away. I think it's Ewan Murray, one of the smallest players on the field, who headed that away. Michael Kelly onto it, left-footed cross, run at the back post. Callum Roberts claims he's pulled down. It's waved away by the referee, and that'll be a goal kick.
Well, that looked like a massive pull. It's a great ball from Kelly on his left foot, in swinging cross from probably about 35 yards on the right-hand side. And I could see it from here. The referee obviously blindsided or couldn't see it, but obvious pull on Callum Roberts' shirt there. I think if he never got pulled, I think he would have definitely got on the end of it and made some kind of contact on the ball.
Big decision there for referee Declan Brown. He's given out 46 yellow cards, 1 red card in his 14 games officiated this season. Last presided over a Chester game this season, their 1-0 defeat at Darlington back in November. For the Iron, he hasn't officiated a game for them since Boxing Day 2023. A 2-0 win here at home to Farsley Celtic.
It's great for if he can get into those positions, Michael Kelly. It's a different kind of cross. It's an in-swinging cross. I used to like attacking in-swinging crosses. And with his left foot, people have to gamble. Say Roberts really unlucky not to get something out of that.
Nathan Woodthorpe over the throw-in for Chester on the left, goes down the line looking for Pears. Coogan is there first, but balloons his header up into the air. The loose ball bounces for Connor Woods. Now it's Declan Weeks, 30 yards from goal, strikes it. It's blocked by Scales. Bainbridge onto the loose ball. He's dispossessed by Michael Clunan, and now Scunthorpe United will counter. Roberts looking for the run-in behind of Carlton Ubazonu, but really important defending there from Harrison Burke, the highly rated central defender, knocks it out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it was good defending. He didn't gamble, didn't go and press Roberts. He just drew him out. Roberts decided to pass it rather than dribble it another 10-15 yards. It's good positional play, good defending from the Chester centre half.
Throw for the Iron, but it's lost by Callum Roberts. Chester don't get too far forward though. Chestered inside by Keane Scales. Gets it back from Rowley. Here comes a shot from 30 yards, and it flies over the crossbar and out for a goal kick. 0-0.
Yeah, great little 1-2 little combination play. Just fell lovely through on his right foot. Just leant back with good power. Just needs to get a little bit of accuracy and make the goalkeeper work. But starting to get a little bit of foothold on the game now. Scunthorpe, last 5-6 minutes in the attacking half for Scunthorpe.
Goal kick then for Chester, which Jimmy Storer is going to take from the left-hand side of his 6-yard area. Storer then strokes it forward, right-footed. It makes its way over the halfway line. Evans wins his header. It's nodded on by Rowley. Ubazonu with the close control with his chest, but he's lost the ball, and Chester don't have it for long. They gift it straight back to Scunthorpe United. Hoisted forward over on the left-hand flank by Tyler Denton into Callum Roberts, but he loses the ball to Kevin Roberts, who clears away, but it comes straight back to Denton, tries to fire in the cross first time, not able to wrap the instep of his left boot around it, and it will dribble out for a goal kick to Chester. So Jimmy Storer is going to take the goal kick again from the left-hand side of his penalty area. Of course, Chester were one of the sides that led the National League North earlier in the campaign. 7 straight victories up until the start of February catapulted them to the summit. 4 wins in 9 since then. They have recorded back-to-back victories heading into this game. Scunthorpe United seeing their 13-match unbeaten run come to an end as it's lumped forward by Michael Kelly. Foot race between Ubazonu and Conor Rawlinson as a big burst of sand comes off the pitch as Rawlinson was backtracking to nod that back to his goalkeeper, Jimmy Storer. Quarter of an hour gone, still awaiting the opening goal of this game in the top of the table clash between Scunthorpe United and Chester here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Evans with the header into Seals territory. Rawlinson nods it straight back. Flick on by Connor Woods. He'll bounce through to Ross Fitzsimons. Feints to bowl it out quickly to his left-hand side, but then will delay and keeps the ball tight between the palms of his hands. Volleys forward on the outside of his right foot. Rawlinson wins the first header. Rowley the second. Shouts for offside, and eventually the flag does come up from the assistant referee on this near side, George Eaton. That will be a Chester free kick. Perhaps the energy in this game has dissipated a touch in the last couple of minutes, Steve?
A little bit. I think you're going to get that initial kind of tempo and tension in the air. Start to kind of get a little bit of settled down, and Scunthorpe have made probably the better start, I would say. So the majority of the play has been in the attacking half of the pitch. Just not really creating much at all. Scunthorpe a couple of half chances. But I still think they're trying to find their way, but Scunthorpe definitely a lot better than Tuesday evening for sure.
Oh, Evans, that was an awkward free kick to deal with. Fired forward by Jimmy Storer, and Evans backpedaling, made a connection with it, but he's only managed to head it behind the dead ball line, and Chester have their first corner kick of the afternoon. From the left, it's going to be Declan Weeks, who also made his 200th appearance for Chester this month in the same game as Kevin Roberts, the 3-2 defeat at Chorley. And he's going to take the corner kick from the left-hand side, is Declan Weeks. 15 league assists so far this season. Kenny had a 16th to his record from the corner. Stands it up towards the back post, right-footed. Header out of the penalty area by Will Evans. Chester player has stayed down in the box as the ball bounces out. Declan Brown is over there just to check that he is okay. It was Harrison Burke who was up from the back, trying to continue his goal-scoring exploits this season. He is okay though. And given the referee had stopped play for the head injury, it will be a drop ball just outside of the Scunthorpe United box, and it's left to Tyler Denton, who will roll it back to his goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons. Looks like 2 banks of 4 that Chester have set up, with Connor Woods playing just off the striker Tom Pearce. Long forward from Fitzsimons, not enough on it for Jimmy Storer to let the ball roll out for a goal kick, and has to take evasive action. Slams it into touch for an iron throw high up the park. Michael Kelly over the throw, and looks to be almost level with the 6-yard area from here. Kelly goes into Beeston from the throw, shields it away from his man, and then tucks it in behind for Kelly to run onto. Into the penalty area he goes, but he was stumbling as he did so. Gives possession away. It comes back to Joe Rowley, stabbed into the feet of Cian Scales. Just couldn't get enough on the pass to Callum Roberts, but Scunthorpe United recycle possession here. Denton tries to slip it in behind for Callum Roberts to run onto. Chester alert to that, but the iron keep coming. Denton into Roberts, back to Tyler Denton. Now it's Michael Cluner. Swings it around the corner first time for Maxine Coogan, the Cameroonian defender. Now Michael Kelly, back inside to Coogan. Chester have all 10 outfield players behind the ball at the moment. Evans, and they work the ball from right to left here, do Scunthorpe United. Callum Roberts on it. pings it towards the penalty area, brought under control by Alfie Beeston, who would have had a job on there to keep that at his feet. Cleared away by Nathan Woodthorpe. The Iron will try again here. Kelly down the right hand side, you can just see he wants to come inside on his left foot, barged off of it by Tom Pearce, fairly according to the referee, and it's a goal kick for Chester.
Yeah, he's letting quite a lot of kind of decisions go. The first one with the potential penalty for Cal Roberts, and I thought that was a little nudge on Michael Kelly's back there just to put him off and miss control, but the pitch ain't helping. They're trying to travel with the ball and you just see it bobbling up, and really have to watch it onto the end of your toe. But I can see what they're trying to do, Scunthorpe. They're switching play really well, and that's where their kind of creativity is going to come from, rather than going central down the middle. They haven't got that height this afternoon, so they have to work the ball out in wide areas to the Alfie Beestons and the Cal Roberts.
20 minutes played at Glanford Park. Still goalless between Scunthorpe United and Chester in this top of the table clash in the National League North, here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Rowley is clattered into late by Jack Bainbridge, and there's a bit of a delay to the decision, but eventually Declan Brown awards a free kick in Scunthorpe United's favour. On the right hand side, probably about 10-15 yards in front of the right hand touchline, 5 yards over the halfway line, Michael Kelly is over it at the moment, but he'll be joined by his captain Michael Clunan, who taps it into the feet of Kelly. Now it's Alfie Beeston. The ball balloons off the instep of his right boot, and then he's met by two Chester players, wriggles free of them and then a third, but loses the ball to Declan Weeks, who'll try and flick it in behind for Pearce to run onto. Doesn't come off. Scunthorpe United retrieve possession, but they've been put into a bit of a cul-de-sac on the right hand side, and they get the throw.
They've done that well, Chester. Every time the ball has gone in wide areas, they've gone and pressed. You know, it's not just going individually, going as a team and as in a unit there. So it's going to be a real struggle there. I think this first goal is going to be really crucial this afternoon.
Connell Rawlinson, another player who started his career at the old Chester City. Made his debut back in 2009, age 17. Returned to the club in the summer after leaving Notts County. He shields the ball out for a goal kick away from Colton Ubazonu. He was named captain in January following the departure of George Glendon, who has gone to Radcliffe. Scunthorpe United visit at the start of April. Goal kick for Chester. This time Storer is going to take it from the right hand side of his 6-yard box. Arrowed forward, right footed. Who will it fall to here? There's a header on from Pearce. It'll bounce kindly for Bainbridge. Flicks in behind. Pearce is onto it first. Goes round Fitzsimons. Keeps it alive from the dead ball line. Pulled back to Bainbridge. Fires it straight into the forehead of Michael Clunan. And it fizzes out for a throw into Chester.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried there as Fitzsimons come running out, but just held his arms back and didn't commit to the player's feet, and managed to put it back. And actually Kelly cleared it with an header, but good goalkeeping, didn't get too rash and showed a lot of control around that area.
Declan Weeks tries to nutmeg Alfie Beeston. The final touch is off the Scunthorpe United midfielder, the Irons' longest serving player, much to the dismay of the home supporters here in the West Stand. So a throw for Chester. They've inched themselves just a touch forward down the left hand side. 1-2 between Woodthorpe and Weeks. Woodthorpe gets past Beeston, curls in the cross, slammed clear. It'll drop to the right thigh of Connell Rawlinson, and now here is Harrison Burke. Haven't seen too much of him in this game, bar that important intervention about 5 or 10 minutes ago. Chester on the attack, but it's thwarted as a result of the clearance from Michael Clunan. The Seals will try again. Dinked over the top by Declan Weeks. Pearce is making the late run, but the bouncing ball is collected by Ross Fitzsimons. Catches that cleanly on the half volley, trying to find Carlton Ubazonu, but it's marshalled well by Harrison Burke. He nods it back to goalkeeper Jimmy Storer.
Yeah, he's trying to do things a little bit quicker, raise the tempo. It's just dropped off a little bit over the last 5-10 minutes, but I just didn't quite get it right. Sometimes Ubazonu just needs to stand there and react off the goal kick rather than trying to be too accurate. It's never going to be perfect.
Ewan Murray is bundled over just outside of the D, and And in the end, the free kick goes Scunthorpe United's way, and then Murray has been tagged as he tried to walk away from the situation. I don't think there was any kind of theatrics to that. He just went down not really expecting to be clipped while he walked away from the dead ball.
Yeah, I think he tried to take it early, or wanted to take it early, Michael Clunan. He just kind of blocked the line of the ball and then shoved him over. There's no need for it. It's a real silly booking, and only got 25 minutes into the game. It's a poor for Michael Clunan, that.
Of course, there were plenty of bookings when these two sides last met at Glanford Park last season in that 2-2 draw, which broke the National League North attendance record at the time. Jimmy McAlinden was also sent off in that game. From the free kick, Fitzsimons over to the left. It's headed inside by Denton. Upazonu was looking to direct it back out wide, but his pass is cut out. And here come Chester breaking forward. Pears flicked into the left-hand side. Connor Woods into the penalty area, so right-hand side the box. Weeks with the first-time cross. Bainbridge is free at the back post. Heads it across the penalty area rather than towards goal, and it's cleared away by Will Evans. Chester will try again. Evans with another booming header from the edge of his own penalty area. Lumped forward by Rawlinson. Comes off the chest of Tyler Denton. Who will get there first? It's Pears. Into Connor Woods. Jinks away from Tyler Denton. Back to Declan Weeks. 30 yards from goal. Wide to the right-hand side now. Woods again on the ball. There's a bit of pulling in the penalty area between Pears and Coogan, as here is Roberts, has slipped in behind, pulls it back from the dead ball line, was looking for Taylor O'Kane, cleared away. Chester try again, another cross comes into the iron box. This time Michael Clunan makes the header. The Iron will try and get onto that loose ball and break forward. They can't do so, but it's a weak flick from Weeks. Scunthorpe United get it back. Upazonu carries it over the halfway line, one-on-one with his man Harrison Burke, who's peeled wide to defend this situation on the right. Poked forward, Burke realising he'd got the final touch on that ball, stops it from going out for a corner kick but concedes the throw.
Yeah, probably their most sustained bit of pressure from Chester the last couple of minutes without really creating anything. They've got some good positions but didn't have the support to get up into the 18-yard box, so relatively comfortable for Scunthorpe. Just need to watch out of that left-hand side with Denton and Roberts. Roberts obviously defending's not his strong point, but he does have to do a job when Scunthorpe do lose the ball.
Another throw in here for the Iron. Denton over it, level with the Chester penalty area from the left. Taking his time over this one is Tyler Denton. Throws it back into a central midfield area for Cian Scouse to collect. Now it's Michael Kelly. Spreads play wide to the right-hand side on his left foot to Joe Rowley, attacking his man Ewan Murray. Rowley, right-footed cross into the penalty area. Brought under control well by Beeston. Hits it on the swivel, but it's blocked. And Chester lump it up into the grey afternoon sky above Glanford Park. That's a bit of a miss-hit pass from Maxime Coogan. Will go out for a throw to the visitors.
Yeah, lucky Beeston there. Just good tight control, just tried to swivel and pivot. I don't know if he would have had the power, but he got blocked from the Chester centre half. But he's adopting those central areas as well. He's not just standing out on this right hand side, Beeston. He's drifting inside to try and link up with Upazonu and trying to be to give Scunthorpe a little bit of an option there. But unlucky, so it's a shot on target that got blocked. Would it have gone in the back of the net? Would it have troubled the goalkeeper? Probably not.
Throw here for Chester then. On the left, it's Woodthorpe, takes a run up before lobbing it down the line. Rowley with the header, then Upazonu. It'll fall to Declan Weeks, but then Harrison Burke completes the clearance. Michael Kelly's got his header all wrong, out for a throw, as Callum McIntyre will get the ball from the Scunthorpe United supporters, having presided over his 150th game in charge of the Seals last weekend with a 1-0 win at home to Leamington. And he will watch the throw be taken by Nathan Woodthorpe. Woodthorpe back to Weeks on halfway, just lumps that up into the air. It's over O'Kane's head. Wood knocks it back to O'Kane, who shields the ball away from Michael Clunan. Chester work it over to the left with Woodthorpe, feints to cross, pulls it back to Weeks. 1-2 between him and Ewan Murray. Weeks looks up and gives it to Bainbridge. Now here is Woods, has got free 30 yards from goal, plays it into the path of Roberts across the penalty area. Just a bit of a half-hearted connection that, and it just rolled across the 6-yard box for Fitzsimons to collect.
Probably got caught into two minds. Was he going to smash it across or put it back? And he done neither there. Quite easily defended from Scunthorpe.
Oh, that's a poor pass from Tyler Denton, and just about did enough to stop Tom Pearce from getting onto the ball. Scunthorpe United keep possession and play out from their own penalty area with Maxime Coogan. Now it's Rowley, looks over both of his shoulders to see where the opposition Chester players are, and now it's back into defence with Tyler Denton. Callum Roberts picks it up on the halfway line away from Kevin Roberts, goes back to Tyler Denton, and now Maxime Coogan again. And the referee's going to stop play once more here because Tom Pearce, this is not an attractive sight. I think he may have vomited on the edge of the centre circle.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a bit of blood as well. I don't know if he's got a bang on the nose or something. And then the referee needs to, or the physio needs to come on and patch him up. But yeah, I didn't see that, Ollie, but not a pleasant sight.
I wasn't quite sure. I just saw his body sort of heaving and assumed that he may have been throwing up. But you could be right, given the fact there was that collision in the iron penalty area which led to a stoppage in play. So Tom Pearce is being treated at the moment with half an hour played at Glanford Park. Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0 in terms of the other games featuring promotion contenders. Currently goalless between Kidderminster Harriers in 4th and Needham Market. Brackley Town in 3rd, drawing by the same scoreline away at Radcliffe. Other sides in the promotion places: Chorley are 2-0 up at home to Alfreton Town, Buxton drawing 0-0 with Kings Lynn Town, Hereford also level, goalless at home to Curzon Ashton. Play back underway. Tom Pearce has made his way off the field, having been treated, and he's being allowed to come on just yet as the ball's rolled across the centre of defence. Pearce makes his way back on. Roberts swung forward from the instep of his left boot. It's intercepted by Harrison Burke, who clears it away and has cleared the roof of the east stand opposite us. So it'll be a Scunthorpe United throw-in, and we will need a new ball here at Glanford Park.
Just thinking on I don't think Roberts has really had the impact on the game. He's receiving the ball quite deep into just probably into the attacking third, or bordering on the attacking third. So it's not been as productive. I don't know if anybody would consider kind of switching them and seeing if they could be a bit more creative by switching Beeson and Cal Roberts over. We'll have to wait and see on that one, but Roberts not really got into the game as I would like to have seen him so far.
It's a marginal one, but you'd perhaps argue that Beeston has got more joy out of Woodthorpe down the right than Callum Roberts has got out of Kevin Roberts on the left. Throw in here for Chester, and it will be Kevin Roberts, who also has a role as a physio for the first team and academy at Chester, having studied physiotherapy at the University of Salford. Takes a throw in. Denton with the clearance away, nodded on by Ewan Murray. Now it's Will Evans with the latest header, and then Michael Clunan needs to come down at some point. Harrison Burke with the header, then it's lumped up into the air by Michael Kelly. Kevin Roberts heads away. Eventually it's brought down by Tyler Denton, knocks it back to Will Evans. He'll try and switch play from left to right, getting Ubazonu in behind. Woodthorpe scuffs his clearance but gets away with it, and now it's Chester's turn to try and launch an attack. Pearce is onto the bouncing ball first, gets there ahead of Maxime Coogan, who's got him in a bit of a bear hug, flicked into the path of Ewan Murray. Murray pulls it back to Declan Weeks. Bainbridge onto that ball, despite the two perhaps not being on the same wavelength there. Murray, edge of the penalty area, left-hand side, pulled back to Bainbridge. Now Weeks, 30 yards from goal. Weeks into Kevin Roberts. Roberts keeps the ball at his feet, away from Callum Roberts. Chester just retreat into defence momentarily, but they've still got all 10 outfield players inside the Scunthorpe United half, as it's rolled across to Connell Rawlinson. Rawlinson, left of centre, swept into the penalty area. Evans with the first time clearance away, and that will allow the Iron to move back up the park. Jimmy Storer then onto that ball, waits for Alfie Beeston to close in before leathering it upfield. Will Evans wins another header. It's chested down by Joe Rowley, midway inside his own half. Scunthorpe United try and clear their lines, but they don't get too much distance on it. Chester on the front foot. Woodthorpe with the left-footed cross bounces across the penalty area. No one able to get onto it. Uncertain defending from the iron. The attack's still alive for Chester here. Bainbridge 20 yards out, flicked into Weeks. Now it's Kevin Roberts on the right-hand side. Floats in the cross, comes off the back of Callum Roberts, who clears away. Beeston will go and charge it down, but Chester come again here with Connor Woods. Back to Declan Weeks. Here is Rawlinson on the halfway line. Rawlinson marshals his troops, brings it out of the centre circle, into the feet of Nathan Woodthorpe, clipped into the penalty area. Again, another pulling match between Tom Pearce and Maxine Coogan. Coogan comes out on top on that occasion, but the ball's just not sticking for Scunthorpe United at the moment. Weeks cuts a pass into the feet of Connor Woods. Woods back to Weeks. Just slows play down a touch, passes it to Bainbridge. Now back to Weeks again. Here is Rawlinson, scored the winner in Saturday's 1-0 victory at home to Leamington. Turned around the corner by Ewan Murray, can't find Pearce, who is robbed by Maxine Coogan. But Scunthorpe United are being pinned back here with 10 minutes of normal time to go at the end of the first half. Scunthorpe United 0, Chester 0 as Weeks loses it. And he concedes a free kick in the process for a late challenge on Kean Scales. Taken by Michael Clunan across to the right hand side with Kelly. Kelly flicked forward, picks out Joe Rowley. Rowley got Upazonu to his right hand side. Here is Upazonu from the byline, crossed it into the penalty area. No one able to get on the end of it. Roberts with the shot! And there's the opening goal in this top of the table clash. And who else would it be but Callum Roberts for Scunthorpe United? Chester will be disappointed with their defending there. Just let the ball roll across their penalty area from the right hand side from Upazonu's cross. Callum Roberts robbed his man and has fired it home left footed past Jimmy Storer to give Scunthorpe United a 1-0 lead with 36 minutes gone.
Yeah, really well worked goal. It weren't the best crosses from Upazonu. It's kind of trickled across. But just the centre half kind of miskicked it. And then Roberts had to swivel kind of 360 really to get it back onto his left foot and drill it into the near post. Great finish and just what the game needed. It was getting a little bit flat in terms of Scunthorpe perspective. Chester had a little bit of possession prior to that, but just what the game needed to bring it to life.
Callum Roberts, he told me on Thursday he wanted at least one more assist this season to take him to double figures. He hasn't got that quite yet, but he's got his 21st goal of the campaign in all competitions. And Callum Roberts, Scunthorpe United's talisman, gives the Iron a 1-0 lead at home to second place Chester.
Yeah, just waiting for Cal to get into the game, and it don't take a lot, does it? Just that little bit of magic, that little bit of quality that sets those type of players among from the rest. So yeah, really great finish, and we're really pleased for Scunthorpe. They have probably deserved it over the course of the 37 minutes, but without creating too many real clear-cut chances.
Ball's bouncing around inside the Chester half. Conor Rawlinson is turned around and a foul had already taken place during that passage of play. Nathan Woodthorpe bringing Colton Upazonu down. Rawlinson hadn't looked to deal with that ball in behind, but now he's got a free kick to defend. Tom Pearce not happy about that decision. And it'll be a free kick here, as you can hear the Donny Road end to our left hand side, signalling the fact that they will be staying for the time being top of the National League North table with this scoreline. Free kick, Roberts left-footed, swings it in, looking for a late runner. Alfie Beeston almost made a connection, just a whisker away from his forehead, but it will bend straight through to Jimmy Storer in the Chester goal.
Yeah, great pace, that's what you want, a bit of pace and accuracy on that ball, and a good eye for somebody to just get a touch on it. Alfie Beeston really unlucky not to get some kind of contact on the ball there.
Storer volleyed up into the air, commanding header that from Will Evans, and has put Harrison Burke on the back foot. and he's forced a mistake as well from Harrison Burke, who's trying to head that back to his goalkeeper Jimmy Storer, but he's just got too much on it, and it's out for a Scunthorpe United corner kick.
Yeah, Humberside have done really well there. It was like a dead ball, really. I thought, is it worth going for it? But he did. He went for it. He tried to kind of put the defender in a compromised position, and he did. He headed it back. The goalkeeper was coming out. He's there for a corner. Just that little bit of pressure can make a hell of a difference.
So the corner kick for the Iron will be taken from the left with captain Michael Clunan at the moment inside the Chester penalty area to attack this set piece. Alfie Beesting, Carlton Ubazonu, Will Evans, Maxime Coogan and Joe Rowley. Callum Roberts in there as well at the back post as Michael Clunan is over it. Goes short, right-footed. 1-2 between him and Joe Rowley into the penalty area, but can't beat the first man, Declan Weeks, who will clear away. It's chested down nicely by Ewan Murray on the edge of the centre circle. Is barged over by Michael Kelly. That's a free kick to the visitors, and that will help them relieve the pressure. 5 minutes to go of this first half in terms of normal time. Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 0 here on BBC Radio Humberside Sports. Steve Talk.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's a little poor defence, just a clearance, and probably the smallest player on the pitch has managed to take him to his touch. Should be a little bit closer. One screen, I think it was Michael Clunan screening, and then one on the cover, but he had a massive gap. He could bring it down, turn. Scunthorpe had to foul him to stop the plays, but it's kind of basic kind of defending when you're attacking. You also have to think about that transitional area when you lose the ball.
Storer lofted forward by the Chester goalkeeper towards the edge of the Scunthorpe United penalty area. Rowley wins out in his particular duel with his marker Tom Pearce and heads it out for a throw-in to the visitors. Woodthorpe to take from the left. Throws it into the feet of Declan Weeks and then gets the ball back. Now it's Ewan Murray trying to just stab that in between Alfie Beeston and Joe Rowley. Chester just about keep possession. Harrison Burke back to goalkeeper Jimmy Storer. Hoisted forward, right-footed off the instep of his right boot. Tyler Denton's there first, hooks it away. Now Bainbridge forward from the halfway line. Will Evans with the clearance, puts it out for a throw into Chester. Bainbridge will leave it for Kevin Roberts to take. Roberts throws it back behind the halfway line to Harrison Burke. Reportedly had bids rejected for him by Chester from EFL clubs in Leagues 1 and 2 during the January transfer window. Rawlinson drives it over to the left-hand side. Woodthorpe can't leap high enough to head that back in play. And it's a Scunthorpe United throw-in.
Yeah, just need to manage just before the half time. We've got 3 minutes of normal time to play. Can they just see this first half out? Just going with this 1-0 advantage would be a massive bonus for him.
Kelly, big run up from him down the touchline, lobs it down the right wing. Rawlinson is there, just slams that up into the air. Joe Rowley has pushed Jack Bainbridge over, so that'll be a free kick to Chester. Be left for Jimmy Storer to take it again. Chester push up the park. Connor Woods goes to join Tom Pearce up top with Taylor O'Kane and Ewan Murray behind the two at the moment. Jimmy Storer places the ball down, a free kick left of centre, midway inside the Chester half, as Callum McIntyre is barking instructions at his players, telling them to drift over to this near left-hand side of the field. And Connor Woods does come over to the left-hand touchline. Storer, right-footed, swings it, aiming for Woods, who heads it backwards. Joe Rowley is there first to clear away. Harrison Burke with the header from behind the halfway line. Nodded on by Ewan Murray. He claims there was a high boot in there from Joe Rowley. Maybe his height went against him with regards to that particular decision. And it's a throw-in for Chester. Nathan Woodthorpe again over the throw-in, almost level with the visitors' penalty area. Down the line it goes. Coogan wins his header, flicked on by Rowley. Beeston is there first, ahead of his man. Rowley scooped over the top. Ubazonu has got him behind Rawlinson here. That comes off his shoulder, goes out for a Chester throw. Less than 90 seconds of normal time left of this first half. Still to come on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. We'll bring you the half-time scores. We'll also get your reaction from England's 2-0 win over Albania last night. in Thomas Tuchel's first game in charge, and we'll hear from the former Scunthorpe United loanee Liam Trotter about how he is embarking on a new career to become a referee. Throw for the iron here. Into the final minute of normal time we go at the end of this first half. Kelly thinks about taking it quickly and going back to goalkeeper Ross Fitzsimons. Kelly now a couple of yards behind the halfway line on the right. Lob down the line again, and the Iron managed to edge themselves further forward down that right hand touchline because Woodthorpe has headed the throw straight out of play into touch. Kelly again, looking for the run of Ubazonu. He's forced the heavy touch from Bainbridge. Goes out for a third throw-in in succession for Scunthorpe United. They're almost level with the penalty area now. 1-2 from the throw between Kelly and Rowley. Here is Rowley. He's got two men over both of his shoulders to deal with, and he's lost the ball. Ewan Murray scurries forward. Tries to play inside to O'Kane, but Chester lose out. 2 minutes of additional time at the end of this first half. The Scales is fouled. Both sets of midfield operating in really tight areas at the moment towards the end of this first half.
Yeah, it's great footwork there from Joe Rowley and Cian Scales. So they're similar kind of players, aren't they? Energetic, quick feet, can kind of get that immediate kind of speed and acceleration away from the defenders. There's some good little bits of glimpses there, especially.
Can Scunthorpe United double their lead before the half-time whistle from this set-piece opportunity? Right of centre, it's a good 40 yards from goal. Roberts dinks into the box, header away, or drop to Cian Scales inside the penalty area, drives it in, gets the second bite of the cherry. Scales goes down, nothing given. There aren't really too many protests either from the Scunthorpe United players, and it will go out for a throw in the end to Chester.
Yeah, the referee looked like he was in a real good position. He weren't kind of blinded by any players in his eye line, so we were a bit further away, so it's a little bit difficult for us to see, but it didn't look like the penalty, like you said, with the reaction of the players. Normally that's a real telltale sign how the players react.
Throw for Chester then, midway inside their own half on the right. Roberts, Kevin Roberts that is, forward, but he only picks out Tyler Denton, who hoofs it back towards the Chester penalty area. Onto the loose ball now is Joe Rowley. Picks out the forward run of Carlton Ubazonu. Was just trying to let that ball roll underneath him, and that gave Nathan Woodthorpe the opportunity to defend the situation. Michael Kelly knocks out the ball for a Chester throw, and here is Woodthorpe again, the former Crewe Alexandria youngster. Spent a good 12 years at Gresty Road. Here's the throw, and that is the last action of the first half. And in this top of the table clash in the National League North on non-league day, it's the leaders, Scunthorpe United, who go in at the break 1-0 up against second place Chester. The only goal of the game coming in the 37th minute, and who else could it have been but Callum Roberts for his 21st of the season in all competitions. It was a ball rolled into the Chester penalty area from the right hand side by Carlton Ubazonu. It wasn't the best of crosses, but Chester simply failed to deal with it. Roberts dispossessing his man and firing home left-footed past James Storer. The Iron then 1-0 up here at home to Chester in your digital radio commentary here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport, as well as being online via BBC Sounds. Steve Torpey, your expert summariser for this one. Your thoughts, please.
Yeah, I think probably both sets of defenders have been on top, just on that one occasion where Cal Roberts showed that little bit of quality, spun, pivoted right around on a 360, and just rifled him with his left foot. Apart from that, Chester have often puffed, gone to some decent positions, but lack that little bit of quality and the support up in this attacking third. Similar to Scunthorpe, really. They've got some crosses in, but there's never been kind of looking for the second balls. But I think Andy Butler would be delighted. I think they've not shown any signs of nerves or apprehension during the game, this first half. And I'd probably say just shaded it in terms of the scoreline.
Second half commentary to come then here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. At the break, it's Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 0. You're listening then to BBC Radio Humberside Sport. We have reunited our frequencies, given we've got two big match commentaries for you this afternoon. On 95.9 FM and Freeview Channel 713, it's goalless between Grimsby Town and Newport County in League 2. And here at Glanford Park, in your digital radio commentary, as well as being online via BBC Sounds, in this top-of-the-table clash in the National League North, Scunthorpe United leading second-place Chester by 1-0. The only goal of the game thus far coming from Callum Roberts in the 37th minute to break the deadlock. Let's look at the other scores in this afternoon's football. Plenty of World Cup qualifiers taking place today. Only one going on at the moment. North Macedonia leading by 3-0 away at Liechtenstein in Group J. Let's drop down to football on these shores. In the Women's Super League, in stoppage time, it's Everton 2, Crystal Palace 0, and the 5:30 kickoff sees Arsenal host Liverpool. In League 1 at half-time, it's Barnsley 0, Cambridge United 1, Crawley Town 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Lincoln City 0, Exeter City 0, Northampton Town 0, Blackpool 1, and Peterborough United 2, Charlton Athletic 0. One latest score, Wrexham lead Stockport County by 1-0. In League 2, the early kick-off today finished Notts County 0, Crewe Alexandra 0. Half-time scores in that division, AFC Wimbledon 0, Barrow 0, Bradford City 2, Colchester United 1, Carlisle United 1, Bromley 1, Cheltenham Town 0, Milton Keynes Dons 1, Chesterfield 0, Harrogate Town 0, Fleetwood Town 0, Tranmere Rovers 0, Gillingham 0, Walsall 0, Grimsby Town 0, Newport County 0, Port Vale 0, Morecambe 0, and Swindon Town 0, Accrington Stanley 0. In the National League, one full-time score. It finished earlier this afternoon. Sutton United 1, Dagenham and Redbridge 1. At half-time, it's Aldershot Town 2, Ebbsfleet United 3, Braintree Town 1, York City 1, Eastleigh 0, Southend United 2, Fylde 1, Forest Green Rovers 0, Gateshead 0, Tamworth 0, Hartlepool United 2, Boston United 1, Maidenhead United 0, Rochdale 1, Oldham Athletic 1, Halifax Town 0, Solihull Moors 0, Yeovil Town 1, and Wealdstone 0, Woking 0. The 5:30 kickoff sees Altrincham host Barnet. And finally, in the National League North, as a terrible racket is being made here at Glanford Park at the moment. In the National League North for you, looking at the half-time scores, it's Buxton 0, Kings Lynn Town 0, Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0, Darlington 1, Rushall Olympic 1, Hereford 0, Curzon Ashton 0, Kidderminster Harriers 1, Needham Market 0, Leamington 2, South Shields 0, Marine 1, Peterborough Sports 1, Oxford City 2, Warrington Town 0, Radcliffe 0, Brackley Town 2, Scunthorpe United 1, Chester 0, Southport 0, Scarborough Athletic 1, and Spennymoor Town 3, Farsley Celtic 0. You're listening then to BBC Radio Humberside Sport.
Hello, Jericho Keys here, and I'm really looking forward to BBC Radio Humberside's Introducing Show tonight. It's a place where we showcase the very best music from East Yorkshire and Northern Lincolnshire artists. We also do live sessions as well, and this evening we're welcoming Chloe Conroy into the studio.
She thought that I wasn't good enough. Another 5 more years.
Hear more from Chloe Conroy and loads of other artists from East Yorkshire and Northern Lincolnshire. Join me tonight on BBC Radio Humberside from 8 o'clock.
But I do not miss you.
The Make a Difference Awards.
BBC Radio Humberside.
Everyday acts of kindness make a huge difference to people across our community, and we want to honour and recognise those who make a difference where we live. Do you know an individual or a group of people who have used sports or physical activity as a way of improving lives in the community around them? If so, you can nominate them for a Make a Difference award. For a full list of categories and details of how to nominate someone, go to bbc.co.uk/make a difference, where you can also see full terms and our privacy notice. Nominations are open now and close on March the 31st at 5 o'clock, and the winners will be announced at our Make a Difference awards ceremony in September. Let's focus back on football, and the ex-Grimsby Town and Scunthorpe United loanee Liam Trotter is embarking on a new career. He's one of 10 former players undergoing a fast-track training scheme to become a referee. He joined the PGMOL's development director Dan Meeson on BBC Radio 5 Live yesterday morning with Holly Hamilton to talk about the programme.
In essence, it's something that the game had spoken about for a long time. And with the emerge of the Elite Referee Development Plan in 2022, with the helpful investment of the Premier League, it's something that we kind of took seriously and were allowed to explore essentially for the very, very first time. So, one of the key strands of our plan was committing to modernising the pathway and targeting high potential. And with that, we sort of were in partnership with the Players' Union to look at bringing in a number of former professional players to come onto a 3-year journey and explore where that goes.
Yeah, and Liam, it sort of makes sense. I mean, it really does. It seems quite obvious. And I know that you and some of the other players are on a 3-day training camp at the minute. And you started this training back last summer. What's it been like for you? How have you felt about it?
It's been a very new experience. It's been a lot of learning. Obviously, after long careers in the game, we definitely have our own mindsets and, the way we see football. But in order to be a referee, we have to kind of scale it back a little bit and recognise the fact that we're novices in this area and that we need to learn how to become good referees, which, as everybody knows, isn't easy. So it's been a really good learning experience. And, so far I feel like we're growing in it and gaining more confidence.
Yeah, because you retired from actually playing in the summer of 2023. What was it about this that made you want to do it?
I mean, everybody's different. For me, it was a little bit of serendipity. It was kind of an opportunity. I was out of the game for 14 months. I was traveling the world with my wife, and I came across an email from the PFA saying that, this summer, we're starting this opportunity. I gave it a read. I looked at it. I was currently in a position in my life where I was looking for what will I do next, like many footballers are after they finish their career. And it just spoke to me. It seemed like a great opportunity. It seemed like a great way to stay in football. It seemed a great way to give something back to football and to keep contributing to football. And so I just kind of threw my name in the hat and thought, let me see how this goes. Let me see what this is about. And as it's grown, I'm like, yeah, I think I really want to, pursue this and see how it goes.
So Dan, then is it, because we do say it all the time, that if you have played, then you understand the game better. So is that the case? Can ex-players actually make better referees?
Well, that's what we're exploring currently. I think what the bigger point here is some of the skills that they bring to this environment. So, naturally, the players that we've got on the programme have got very, very strong interpersonal skills. They're used to performing under pressure. Generally, they're good communicators and have shown leadership in their time as a player. And they're all transferable skills that you can bring to the world of match officiating. Of course, we've got to sort of refine some of the technicalities, some of the skills and attributes that you'll need to develop to become a top referee. But that's the whole purpose of the 3-year programme. And that's, precisely what we're doing as we speak now on a 3-day training programme.
And then how does this training programme work in the sense that, so what's the process from being, a former player and making it as an elite ref at the top level?
So we've given ourselves 3 years to kind of work with these 10 players to integrate them initially into, local football matches and predominantly professional club academy games at a sort of youth level. We'll look to work in partnership with the Football Association, who've been really helpful in this process and providing us with a number of game opportunities in the sort of foundation phase to perhaps extend that into what we call the National League system in season 2. And then, of course, this will be performance and capability driven. We're not going to put a former professional player into an environment where we don't see that level of performance that's needed at the elite level of the game. So we've got some work to do. We acknowledge that. We're exploring this. This is something that we've spoken about for so long. It's a really exciting project to be working in and to have the privilege in leading.
The PGMOL's Development Director Dan Meeson, alongside former Grimsby Town and Scunthorpe United loanee Liam Trotter, talking about that fast-track training scheme to help former players become referees. The pair were speaking to Holly Hamilton on BBC Radio 5 Live yesterday morning. Elsewhere in football, England have started life under new head coach Thomas Tuchel with a 2-0 win over Albania in their opening World Cup qualifier at Wembley Stadium. 18-year-old Arsenal fullback Miles Lewis-Skelly opened the scoring on debut before captain Harry Kane sealed the win late on. Tuchel's been speaking about his experience of managing his first game in international football with John Murray.
Very exciting, very new experience. Miles put some debuts with me on the pitch, that I'm not all alone. So it was my first match, and Dan Burns and Miles' match, of course, and he did fantastic. It's nothing but impressive. The character and the confidence with which he plays football is amazing.
And overall, okay?
Okayish. Difficult opponent. I knew it before, that it can be tough to create chances. It can be tough to score against them. I think we got them in the shape of the Euros. Of course, they come here, they play in front of 80,000 plus in Wembley on a Friday evening. Of course, they play in the role of an underdog. So they did everything to make life hard for us. We struggled to implement high rhythm. We struggled to implement also runs into our games, runs into the opponent's box. Whenever we did it, we had goals or big chances. And in the second half, I felt that we lose the confidence in our structure, and everyone tries a little bit on its own, and then becomes slower. Our match becomes slower, and it's more difficult to have counter pressing and to control the counter attacks. But
we're going interview there with the England head coach Thomas Tuchel, because the players are back out both here at Glanford Park and at Blundell Park as well. So we're going to split our frequencies once again. If you want to hear the second half of Grimsby Town's game at home to Newport County in League 2, with it currently being goalless in that one, then make sure you switch to 95.9 FM and Freeview Channel 713. Here at Glanford Park, top of the table clash in the National League North. Scunthorpe United 1-0 up at home to Chester. This one is on digital radio as well as online via BBC Sounds. Make your choice now.
We need your support. Now time to get behind the boys in Clark Blue. Get behind yours.
So here we go then for the second half of this game. A really massive second half, given the fact that both Brackley Town and Kidderminster Harriers are leading at half-time. Perhaps this afternoon could play a big pivotal part in the National League North title race. No changes at the break, so we'll run you through the two lineups, but we are back underway. Scunthorpe United attacking from right to left towards the Donny Road end, housing the home supporters in that covered terrace in their claret and blue striped shirts, blue shorts with claret trim and blue socks. Chester shooting towards their own away fans in the south stand from left to right in their yellow shirts with black sleeves, yellow shorts and yellow socks. Scunthorpe United trying to carve out an attack here down the left-hand flank with Joe Rowley. Keeps the ball away from his man Nathan Woodthorpe. Rowley rolls it back to Michael Kelly. Left-footed cross. Wicked delivery that Chester did well to defend. Will Evans with a poor pass out from the back, which is intercepted by Jack Bainbridge. He almost loses possession to Kean Scales, but Chester still have it. It's played across the heart of defence. Back to Connor Rawlinson from Harrison Burke. And now it's on the left here with Nathan Woodthorpe. Woodthorpe fires it upfield. Tom Pearce does well to hold it up away from Maxime Coogan. Pearce still with the ball glued to his feet. He's forced a long way back, but he keeps possession for his side. Bainbridge into Rawlinson. Now Burke back to Rawlinson on the edge of the centre circle, pointing to move his outfield teammates, and he dinks it forward right-footed into a bit of space down the left-hand channel, but that will roll out for a goal kick. So Scunthorpe United line up with Ross Fitzsimons in goal. The back four: Michael Kelly, Maxime Coogan, Will Evans and Tyler Denton. In midfield, it's Cian Scales, Joe Rowley and Michael Clunan, the captain. And actually it looks like for this second half, Callum Roberts and Colton Ubazonu are out wide on the flanks, left and right respectively, with Alfie Beeston through the middle. On the bench for the Iron, Andrew Boyce, Mark Beck, Joe Starbuck, Luke Williams and Mo Federa. For Chester, their goalkeeper is Jimmy Storer. The back four: Nathan Woodthorpe, Connell Rawlinson, Harrison Burke and Kevin Roberts. In midfield, it's Jack Bainbridge, Declan Weeks and Taylor O'Kane, with Ewan Murray in the hole behind Tom Pearce and Connor Woods up front. Weeks with the header into the Scunthorpe United half. It's met by the forehead of Will Evans once and then twice. Alfie Beeston gets there first. He goes down under pressure from Harrison Burke. No free kick given. It's slammed into the Chester half by Denton. Trapped well by Harrison Burke, but is forced to rush the clearance by Cian Scales, and he's put it out for a throw-in. Let's reintroduce your expert summariser for this one, former Scunthorpe United striker Steve Torpey.
Hi Ollie, yeah, just thinking about how Chester are going to approach the second half. If it stays like it is 1-0 with Scunthorpe obviously in the lead, then Chester will have to come out and try and open this game up and get something out of it, because the way the league situation is, kind of 5 points behind Scunthorpe.
Great ball over the top from Michael Kelly. Joe Rowley's onto it across the 6-yard area. And Alfie Beeston, because he was going for that same ball with Joe Rowley, as he left it to him, he had too much work to do to get into the 6-yard area, and the chance goes awry. Chester throw.
Yeah, great play down the right hand side. It's just like a little spin back of a ball, and it's a great ball from, you could say it was too perfect, and Alfie Beeston just couldn't cover the ground and get into that edge of the 6-yard box. But good intention and a good start from Scunthorpe.
Roberts, Callum Roberts that is, from the left-hand touchline. Denton tries to force it towards the Chester back line. Here is Joe Rowley, keeps it away from Ewan Murray, keeps Scunthorpe United on the front foot. Michael Kelly shifts it onto his left foot, crosses in. Declan Weeks balloons his header up into the air from inside the Chester box. It comes down, nodded on by O'Kane, and Michael Clunan sticks his body in where it hurts. Hits it back on the half volley to Will Evans. And Scunthorpe United calmly and coolly play out from their own penalty area with Ross Fitzsimons. The Iron number one gets the ball back from Will Evans, and here is the Iron central defender on the ball again. Drives it over the top. Denton's make the bombing run forward. Storer thought about coming out of his penalty area to claim, but left it. Nice back heel from Denton into Scales, crosses in, it's blocked and goes out for a corner.
Yeah, great ball again. It's similar to the ball down the right side. This time it was on the left hand side with Denton. You know how quick Denton is. It's a nice little back flick as well. But good play both down flanks from for Scunthorpe, really kind of on their front foot, come out nice and bright in the second half.
Michael Clunan, the Scunthorpe United skipper, getting a decent reception from the Donny Road end behind the goal to our left hand side. He's presiding over this dead ball delivery with the likes of Will Evans, Callum Roberts, Maxime Coogan and Joe Rowley all in the 6-yard area. Colton Ubazonu and Alfie Beeston loitering on the edge. In comes the corner kick. Whose head does that come off last? It looks like a Chester forehead, and the referee agrees with that particular view. Declan Brown, another corner kick for the Iron from the left.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit lucky there, the Chester player. I think he's kind of put his head down and he's come off the top with his head, and lucky for him it could have gone anywhere, but it went over the crossbar. But good pressure from Scunthorpe.
Another set-piece opportunity in the form of this corner kick from the left-hand side. Michael Clunan will take it again. The Iron keeping bodies in the 6-yard box. Whipped in, right-footed by Clunan. Header away inside the 6-yard box from Harrison Burke. Michael Kelly will let that roll out for a throw in to the hosts. 5 minutes gone at the start of this second half on BBC Radio Humberside Sports. If you're just listening in, it's National League North leaders Scunthorpe United 1, Second place Chester 0. The only goal of the game thus far coming in the 37th minute through Callum Roberts. From digital radio, online via BBC Sounds. Take us with you on this Saturday afternoon on the app. As Kevin Roberts slides into interceptor. Forward ball from Tyler Denton and gets the last touch off of Alfie Beeston to win the throw-in for his side. Back with Harrison Burke. 11 goals from defence this season in all competitions. Goes long, aiming for Pears. Maxime Coogan has missed it, but Pears wasn't able to get anywhere near that long ball over the top, and it's claimed in the end by Ross Fitzsimons.
He's done well, Max Coogan there, just using his body and his strength. He's done that a few times in the first half. So all he does is just push the striker away from the ball, just see it go back to the goalkeeper. But it's good play, it's good adapting and changing your body position.
Clunan with a gliding pass over to the left to Callum Roberts. Roberts got the ball onto the instep of his left foot, had bodies in the way, so just tried to prod it into the penalty area. It's cut out, and here come Chester on the counter-attack. Connor Woods has got it behind Tyler Denton, and that is a fantastic covering tackle. Had he got it wrong, he would have been off, but he's won the ball cleanly from behind and knocks it back to Ross Fitzsimons.
Yeah, great defender, and just showed his little change of pace. I thought he was going to tackle a little bit earlier, but he just timed it to perfection. The striker just had an extra touch, and therefore just give that opportunity for Tyler Denton just to slide across with his left foot, get contact, toe poke it back to Ross Fitzsimons. Yeah, fantastic defending.
Dylan Motley-Henry is going to be coming on for Chester in a moment. Has recently been on dual registration at FC Manchester United. Of course, scored that famous goal which knocked Scunthorpe United out of the FA Cup at South Shields in 2022. Coogan with the header on the halfway line. It's missed by Bainbridge. Alfie Beeston tries to hook it on, and Carlton Ubazonu is able to retrieve the loose ball, but he's had his pocket picked by Ewan Murray, who puts Michael Clunan on his backside. Declan Weeks tries to drive away from Alfie Beeston, but he's lost the ball, and the Iron are on the attack here, trying to catch Chester out. Ubazonu into the penalty area. Scales just left the ball behind. Picked up by Roberts in the box on the penalty area. Rebound falls to Ubazonu, wide of the right-hand post. Chances going begging for Scunthorpe United. Still 1-0. That change is going to be made now. Dylan Motley-Henry on for Taylor O'Kay.
Yeah, should have really scored Roberts there. Probably easier chance than his first one in the first half where he scored. Just took a touch, opened up for him, just tried to siphon into the corner and just got blocked at last minute. But great opportunity to maybe put this game out of sight.
Not seen too much of Taylor O'Kay in this game, on loan from AFC Fylde, and he has come off to be replaced by Dylan Motley-Henry. So Callum McIntyre, the first to roll the dice out of the two managers. Forward from the Scunthorpe United defence is a header from Michael Clunan, and the bouncing ball is picked up inside the centre circle by Joe Rowley. Here is the Scunthorpe United captain again, but gets too much on that pass. Joe Rowley sliding in there to try and win it back, but it's Chester's ball. Murray into Bainbridge. Looks like Dylan Motley-Henry has gone out wide to the left-hand side as part of the front three now for Chester, with Tom Pearce through the middle and Connor Woods on the right. Weeks and Bainbridge are the two holding midfielders, with Ewan Murray playing in that number 10 role still. As the visitors are in possession, Weeks prods it back to Connell Rawlinson. That was a bit of a hospital pass, but Rawlinson deals with it under pressure from Alfie Beeston. Burke raking ball from right to left, headed inside by Nathan Woodthorpe, who's up from the back, and here is Dylan Motley-Henry with his first few touches. Right-footed cross comes in towards the back post, headed down into the ground by Connor Woods, and it was Pears in the end who was trying to hook that onwards towards goal on the swivel, couldn't make the connection, and Scunthorpe United clear their lines.
Yeah, the game's definitely livened up now since that goal's come in. Chester have tried to get out and tried to be on their front foot, going a little bit more direct. They know they need to get a goal back into this game, not just for this game, but for any chance of promotion, automatic promotion. So it really opens the game up now. I think it's going to be a real good last 35 minutes.
10 minutes gone in the second half. Scunthorpe United leading Chester by 1-0. The Iron have a throw just behind the halfway line on the right. Michael Kelly goes short into Joe Rowley, who was unmarked. Kelly gets the ball back. Left-footed pass into the centre of defence with Maxime Coogan, and now it's Will Evans' ball. Thinks about firing it wide to the left, but instead goes long, looking for the run of Ubazonu. Has got in behind Woodthorpe here and picks it up on the edge of the Chester penalty area. Pulled back to Joe Rowley. Now it's Michael Kelly, gets it onto his left foot, urged to shoot, does shoot! Oh, what a goal! What a goal that is fitting for this massive game at the top of the National League North. And it's Michael Kelly with an absolute screamer. His first since December 2023. And what a time to find the back of the net. Left-footed from 25 yards. Jimmy Storer had absolutely no chance. And in the 57th minute, Scunthorpe United take a 2-0 lead in this top-of-the-table clash. Could that goal go a long way to deciding the title race in this division?
Yeah, what a finish. It come from nowhere, really. It's a great diagonal ball. Ubazunu's done really well, just sent it back. Kelly had plenty of time, just took a touch out of his foot, and just with a bit of power and a bit of pace, but the accuracy was perfect. Curled into the far corner. Goalkeeper dived, had no chance. 2-0 to Scunthorpe, and hopefully that can kind of catalyst for them to go on there and maybe obviously clinch potential promotion. There's full flares on the pitch.
Yeah, unfortunately, petulant is one word to describe it. Behaviour from a minority, I would say, of Chester supporters behind the goal to our right-hand side. A couple of flares being thrown onto the field in the immediate aftermath of that second goal. Of course, Scunthorpe United were keen to stress they didn't want any trouble before this game, given what happened when these two sides last met at Glanford Park in March last year, with fans coming onto the pitch and other incidents. And it's by and large been well observed by both sets of supporters up until now, but we're going to have a delay due to two flares being thrown onto the pitch. One blue smoked flare which has since been dealt with. The steward at the moment is dealing with another that is emitting a yellow smoke. They've both been handled fairly swiftly and taken care of, and so there won't be too much of a delay to play getting back underway after that Michael Kelly goal gave Scunthorpe United a 2-0 lead at home to Chester.
They look very well prepared, didn't you? The stewards, they've got these big kind of insulated gloves on that can pick up these hot flares, so they must have half expected this to happen sometime during the game. But yeah, what a great goal. What a potentially a real pivotal goal that can really kickstart the rest of the season and the remaining 6 games.
Back underway then, just shy of the hour mark here at Glanford Park on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United 2, Chester 0. Michael Kelly with his first of the season, his second in the claret and blue of the Iron, as the hosts have themselves a free kick. Kevin Roberts fouling Callum Roberts, who is pulled back up onto his feet by his teammate Kean Scales. Will Evans at the moment is in deep conversation with the assistant referee on this near side, George Eaton. The other assistant is Gavin Scott, a reminder of that, and the fourth official, Samuel Clayton. Free kick for the hosts, a couple of yards in front of the left-hand touchline. And it's going to be Ross Fitzsimons to take it. Right-footed, strokes it towards the Chester penalty area. Harrison Burke ducks underneath it and lets it go out for a goal kick. At the moment, Scunthorpe United heading for their first victory over Chester in over 26 years. They last beat Chester when they were formerly Chester City, 2-0 at the Diva Stadium in March 1999 in the old Division 3. But still a long way to go in this game. Dylan Motley-Henry picks up and flicks it back to Declan Weeks, tries to shovel it towards the Scunthorpe United penalty area. It's headed away by Maxime Coogan, and now a thunderous half volley forward from Tyler Denton has got the iron back up on the front foot. Carlton Ubazonu is not able to win out in his particular contest with Nathan Woodthorpe, but the iron onto the second ball. Flipped down the right-hand channel by the goal scorer, Michael Kelly. Ubazonu. Now here's Joe Rowley. Maxime Coogan picks up the pieces for the Iron. Inside the host's half. Evans whipped forward. Kevin Roberts, it was an awkward one for him to deal with, just headed it up into the air. Harrison Burke can't really do much with it either, and there's a bit of a discussion between the pair there, neither covering themselves in glory. It's a throw in for the Iron on the left. Forward from Denton. Harrison Burke has done well to deal with that. An awkward height for him. Denton is in there, but looks to have gone down awkwardly. Back up onto his feet. He gets onto a ball, plays a left-footed pass, but he's still hobbling around. Looked like he twisted his right knee there really awkwardly. Play continues. Denton is going to hobble back into position. Lumped upfield by the goalkeeper for Chester, Storer. Loose ball's picked up by Weeks. Too much on that pass back from Bainbridge to Harrison Burke. Chester somewhat falling to pieces during these last couple of minutes. Andy Butler and the Scunthorpe United physio are checking on Tyler Denton at the moment.
Yeah, Daffy just jarred his ankle. He's like holding his ankle and explaining to Andy Butler the situation, but he seems to have recovered and seems to hobbling a little bit freely. Kelly
over to the left-hand side. Here is Joe Rowley. Now Ubazonu level with the Chester penalty area, trying to ride the challenge of Nathan Woodthorpe, and fires the cross in straight behind the goal in front of the Donny Road end, and out for a goal kick to Chester. Still the supporters, the travelling Chester fans to our right-hand side in the south stand, getting behind their team. Goal kick. Story. Right-footed. Launched into the Iron half. Dylan Motley-Henry wins his header. Hooked away by Michael Kelly. Has got the Chester defence on the back foot. Header away by Rawlinson. Rowley is trying to pick the pocket of Ewan Murray, who does well to shield the ball away from the Iron midfielder. Knocks it back to Storer, who goes long again from his own penalty area. Evans wins his header. Nodded up into the air by Bainbridge, who tries to pick up the loose ball back inside the centre circle, and has again put Chester on the back foot here. Once more with Storer. Sweeps the ball out of his own box, and it's a better pass from Bainbridge into Burke. Burke marauders forward, now inside the centre circle. Short pass to his right hand side to Bainbridge. Here's Kevin Roberts, the veteran Chester right back. Fizz down the right hand channel. Evans comes across from his left centre back position, heads it out for a throw in. Kevin Roberts takes it. 1-2 between him and Bainbridge. Roberts back into the centre of defence with Harrison Burke, rolls it across to his centre half partner Rawlinson, who jinks away from Alfie Beeston, tries to just clip that in behind into the channel for Woodthorpe to run onto. Too much on it. It's out for a Scunthorpe United throw.
Yeah, it's a real good shape when we're in possession. Yeah, we're trying to score and create, but when we're out of possession, they get into real good positions, really nullifying Chester. They seem to be running out of ideas and getting a bit frustrated, especially after that second goal's gone in. It's just it's changes slightly, putting Ubazonu on the right hand side and Beeston, and it seems to have worked a treat. It seems to know their positions really well, and defensively doing fantastic.
Roberts back to Tyler Denton, who seems to have shaken off that particular injury. Launched forward from him, shouts that came off a hand. Well, it's controlled by an arm by Tom Pearce. Referee had his view obstructed, as Mark Beck's going to be coming on in a moment for Scunthorpe United. Chester attack here, whipped in from the right hand side by Kevin Roberts. Michael Kelly with the header away. Beautiful back heel that from Alfie Beeston to get Scunthorpe United on the front foot, and it's Roberts rampaging forward, tried to cut inside, but is marshalled well by Harrison Burke, who won the ball cleanly from behind. And now it's Chester's turn to come forward. Ewan Murray, left of centre, back to Bainbridge on the halfway line. Weeks, first time pass from him to the left to Woodthorpe. Here's Ewan Murray on the ball again, attacking his man Joe Rowley. Left-footed cross comes in. Coogan clears away at the near post. Bainbridge looks over his shoulders to see where any on-rushing Scunthorpe United players are, and the Seals recycle possession. Burke across to Rawlinson, just over the halfway line, left of centre. Now it's Ewan Murray again, who seems to have peeled out wide as this second half has wore on, over on the left, but then he drifts back into the middle. Rawlinson rolls the ball underneath the studs of his right foot, plays the forward ball to Murray and then gets it back. Scunthorpe United playing with looks almost as if they're playing a back five out of possession, with Ubazonu deployed as a wing back, so it's a bank of five and then the bank of four, with Alfie Beast in the lone forward, trying to frustrate Chester at the moment. Mark Beck trying to keep himself warm, jumping up and down inside the technical area while he waits to come on. Bainbridge with possession in the centre circle for Chester. Weeks back to Burke. Burke now holding out his arms, asking for options. Goes long, drifts it over to the left, kept in play well by Woodthorpe, knocks it back to Ewan Murray. Murray, edge at the penalty area, on his right foot, shoots, and unfortunately he can't match Michael Kelly's effort a few moments ago, high and wide, and there are going to be substitutions for both teams here. We'll start with Scunthorpe United in the 68th minute. Mark Beck is going to be replacing Carlton Ubazonu.
Substitution replacing number 14, Carlton Ubazonu, sponsored by Lika and Alessandro America.
For Chester, it's going to be Dan Mooney who will come on, return to the club in January, having had a loan spell from Fleetwood Town a few years ago, and he will be coming on for Ewan Murray. Thoughts on the substitutions, Steve Torpey?
Yeah, I think I wondered if he was going to take Alfred Beeson off. I thought he offers probably a little bit more defensively than Ubazonu. So, yeah, perfect decision for me. Sits back in, like you said, maybe a 4-5-1. You can hit Mark Beck and have a little bit more presence up front and a bit more height. So, and you still got that threat of runners from beyond and Roberts and Beeston coming in from both flanks. So yeah, it makes sense bringing Ubazonu off and putting Mark Beck down the middle.
Playback underway with 68 minutes gone here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United 2, Chester 0. It's slammed forward rather agriculturally by Michael Kelly. Just goes for touch. He does realise, Michael, that the Six Nations ended last week. And it's a throw for Chester, midway inside their own half on the left. Woodthorpe into Weeks, gets the ball back, funnels it forward, comes off the forehead of Michael Clunan, bouncing around inside the centre circle. Who will pick it up? It will be Chester, with Connor Woods here, driving at that iron back line. Options to his right hand side, keeps going. Woods with the shot, 20 yards from goal, and it's a decent effort, but wide of the right hand post.
Yeah, good play. He's travelled the ball about 20-25 yards. He's jinked to the right, then his left, then he's put it back onto his right foot. Just kind of screwed his shot wide of the post, but just going to be a bit careful that. Try and defend those central areas a little bit better, but a good effort from Woods, and just a little bit of accuracy with his strike.
Yeah, Connor Woods signed in January from Warrington Town. In a very rare moment in football, the fee was actually disclosed for around £12,500. Had been offered the chance to become Warrington's highest paid player ahead of being out of contract at the end of the season, but turned it down as Chester on the attack again. But it goes awry because referee Declan Brown feels that Tom Pears was pulling Maxime Coogan back and preventing him from chasing that long ball down towards his own goal. So it'll be a Scunthorpe United free kick. 20 minutes left of normal time at the end of this second half.
Again, really showing signs of real good defending. Sorry, Ollie, to butt in. Ubazonu again using his power and his strength just to guide the ball over the line. Defensively done really well, and I think the all three midfield players done really well this afternoon. Really giving us a solid base to kick on and get these two goals.
Fitzsimons strokes the free kick forward, free header away by Connell Rawlinson. Kelly slices at it, just a sliding ball forward. Chester clear away, but it's picked up by Maxime Coogan. Now Denton launched forward down the left hand channel. Mark Beck will go and cause havoc. Chester deal with it. Declan Weeks back to Kevin Roberts, clears away. Michael Clunan does well to bring that under control and fix it into the path of Joe Rowley. Rowley driving forward as Beeston to his right hand side, uses him. Beeston back to Rowley. Beck almost got on the end of that. Chester just about deal with the situation. Scunthorpe United keep the ball high at the park though with Beck. Shields it away from Bainbridge. Now Roberts left hand side. The box whips it dangerously across the 6-yard area. No one there at the back post, and it'll bounce out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it looks like Scunthorpe probably going to be the team that's going to get this next goal. Well, I didn't know if that was a shot or a cross there. With his left foot, he was always drifting outwards, so it probably was a cross, but just got a little bit too much height on it. Great whip and power, but just a little bit too much height there.
Storer's goal kick. He's headed away by Will Evans. Harrison Burke puts Mark Beck down on the floor, which isn't an easy feat to achieve. Becker stayed down on the halfway line, but gets back up now onto his feet as the referee lets the throw-in be taken by Kevin Roberts. Declan Weeks into Harrison Burke. Burke driven forward by the central defender. Evans heads away and it's hooked up into the air by Tyler Denton, allowed to bounce once, and then it's brought under control by Connor Woods. Leaves it for the substitute, Dan Mooney. Drifts in field. Now it's Weeks inside the centre circle for Chester. The visitors operating momentarily inside the Scunthorpe United half, but they're forced backwards. Burke just behind the halfway line. I could see the idea there. Actually inadvertently almost worked out. Scunthorpe United clear away. He's looking to go from right to left. Instead just shanked it straight in behind, and Coogan did well to deal with that with Dylan Motley-Henry closing in. Chester try again. Long from Storer, bobbling around in the iron penalty area. Shouts of handball from behind the goal, but not from the Chester players. And the iron clear. Through Tyler Denton. Harrison Burke forced backwards and is going to be pressured by Mark Beck. And then Callum Roberts, I was going to say won that cleanly, but the referee has adjudged that he brought Burke down in the process, so it's a free kick for Chester.
Yeah, a bit of dubious decision there. Again, I thought they worked really hard. Roberts pressing and working his socks off up there with Mark Beck.
It's a bit of a risky challenge there. Referee gives Scunthorpe United the advantage. Beeston can't stab that inside to Kean Scales, and now it's Chester's turn to come forward. Cross comes in to Pears, who just missed controls inside the D. There's a shooting opportunity there had he brought that under control on his right foot. Scales with the header to Callum Roberts, just boots that forward, much to the amusement of the Scunthorpe United fans with no one ahead of him. Chester get the ball straight back. Weeks playing in an almost quarterback position, rakes over to the left hand side to Woodthorpe. Pass was behind Dylan Motley-Henry. It's intercepted by Maxine Coogan. Scunthorpe United on the attack. Alfie Beeston jinks inside, has bodies in support, delays the pass before giving it to Kean Scales, left of centre, 30 yards from goal. Tyler Denton coming forward in support. Here is Denton, stands up the left-footed cross. Beeston unmarked, drives it into the ground, and it's headed over the bar and behind by Rawlinson for a corner kick.
Yeah, I'm just looking out on the pitch now. There's 4 or 5 lads whose like hands are on their knees. They're absolutely exhausted. They've been up and down this pitch for 75 plus minutes now. They just need to keep it going and choose when to attack and when to defend. They can't just have waves of attack. Sometimes just to put their foot on the ball and control the game a little bit better. Otherwise they'll be exhausted. They're going to run out of legs with the last 15 minutes to go. But great little bit of play. Alfie Beeston didn't get the contact he would like. Probably come off his shin more than his foot, and but it resulted in a corner for Scunthorpe.
Quarter of an hour of normal time to go. Scunthorpe United 2, Chester 0. Iron corner kick from the left. Clunan curls it in towards the back post. Header away by Harrison Burke. It's still alive in the Chester box as Roberts goes down. He feels he was dragged down by Motley-Henry. Nothing given. Lumped up into the air by Tyler Denton. Will Evans is still up from the back. Look at that burst of energy as he went sprinting towards that loose ball to try and keep it in play. Goes out in the end for a throw to Chester, and they have possession. Over on the far side, in front of the east stand opposite us here at Glanford Park with Woodthorpe. Back into the middle, Rawlinson to Burke. Burke, short pass to Weeks in front of him, gets it back. And now Burke will try the The long ball from right to left, doesn't quite get enough on it. Alfie Beeston able to head away, but Chester onto the loose second ball with Kevin Roberts. Cross comes in from the left and bounces across the 6-yard area and goes out for a goal kick.
Dangerous looking cross. Ross Fitzsimons has a bit air of coolness about him, doesn't he? But that looks a little bit too close for comfort there.
Scunthorpe United are going to be making another substitution. Perhaps Andy Butler looking to stretch the game and bringing on a bit more of a counter-attacking outlet. Mo Federa will come on in place of Alfie Beeston, who is getting a standing ovation from some of the Scunthorpe United supporters here in the main West Stand.
Yeah, fantastic afternoon for Alfie Beeston. Really put a shift in, as we always see him do. Probably because he's been out for a period of time. He only had a short period on Tuesday to ask him to put a 90-minute shift in. So I just see him 5 minutes ago and he was on his hands and his knees, kind of really struggling with the fitness side of it. But Mo Federa, a different challenge now for these defenders, Chester defenders, to go and deal with him for the last 10 minutes or so.
Declan Weeks has put another ball out of the ground. Scunthorpe United throw. Tyler Denton thought maybe it'd bounce back down into the stadium, but it's given a fresh ball by the fourth official, Samuel Clayton. Long ball which Rawlinson, not sure whether he's waiting for the shout there from his goalkeeper or not, but he just let the ball bounce straight off the top of his head. It went back to his goalkeeper there. Storer goes long. Evans had an arm full of Tom Pearce and the referee has spotted that. Chester free kick. As Callum McIntyre at the moment is talking to Kurt Willoughby, King Kurt as he's affectionately nicknamed by Chester supporters, after having quite a prolific season before returning to the club in the summer on loan from Oldham Athletic, and Kurt Willoughby will be coming on soon. Free kick for Chester, right of centre. Weeks, right-footed, in it goes. Header into the penalty area from Dylan Motley-Henry, into straight down the throat of Ross Fitzsimons.
Yeah, didn't really get the power on it. He's headed it down, and with all the sand and the soft pitch, just took the cushion out of it, and quite a comfortable save for Fitzsimons there. But again, a threat. You know, this game ain't done and dusted yet. About 12 minutes plus extra time. Still need to see this game out and do the right things.
Chester forced back with right back Kevin Roberts. Long from him. Denton is there first ahead of Tom Pearce. Now Will Evans does well to keep that away from Motley-Henry and then just lashes it from left to right. It ends up being a really good pass. I think he's just trying to get himself out of trouble as Callum Roberts goes down and stays down, but no free kick given. In comes across from Nathan Woodthorpe into the near post. Didn't really get the swerve on it that he would have wanted to get it away from Ross Fitzsimons at his near stick, and it's claimed by the Scunthorpe United shot stopper.
Yeah, Roberts ain't getting much change out for this referee, but if you know you're playing against a referee, he's not going to give you nothing, then you need to try and get up. If you have been clipped, you just need to bounce back up, get on your feet and try and win the ball back. You can't expect a referee to give you your fouls if he hasn't seen all his decision is not the same as yours.
In the 80th minute, here will come the third substitution of the afternoon for Chester. Kurt Willoughby coming on in place of Connor Woods. We're going to get the attendance, which, as you've just heard, has broken the National League North attendance record. 8,274 in attendance. That breaks the previous record, which was also set here at Glanford Park in April last year in the playoffs, of 8,036. 1,353 travelling Chester fans as part of that record-breaking crowd. They'll be hoping for their sides to try and find a lifeline as we head into the final 10 minutes of normal time. Cross comes in from the left. Maxime Coogan with the header away for the hosts. Chester will try again to unpick that iron defence. Looped over the top. Willoughby challenging for it. He's dragged down inside the penalty area by Maxime Coogan, but doesn't really protest as Coogan clears away. Rawlinson will bring the ball out from the back. Now it's Bainbridge into Kevin Roberts. Now back into the centre circle for Chester with Harrison Burke. Drifts wide to the left. He's closed down by Mark Beck, and Mark Beck falls into fouling him in the end and concedes a free kick.
It was like quicksand. His feet just went away from him, and he ended up on his knees and committing the foul back there. He needs to deal with these set pieces and get that first contact.
In comes the free kick. Will Evans makes the clearance, but the offside flag is up anyway. Scunthorpe United free kick. Don't forget, you can have your say on this game and the result on BBC Radio Humberside Sports with Matt Dean up until 6 o'clock tonight. Book your call now by ringing 08000 66 5959. The text number is 81333. Just remember to start your message with the letters RH. At Humberside Sport on X if you want to get in touch on social media. Our WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333. Again, start your message with the letters RH on that platform, and our email address is humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. As Nathan Woodthorpe heads away, Ross Fitzsimons free kick. It will come straight back to the iron number one, who boots it forward. Right-footed into the Chester half it goes. Rawlinson wins his header. Evans wins his. It bounces once just over the halfway line, and then Beck flicks it on to Joe Rowley. Rowley forward down the right-hand channel. It's turned out for a throw-in to Scunthorpe United. Midway inside the Seals half. And it will be left for Michael Kelly to take. Taking his time over the throw, Michael Kelly hurls it infield. It's brought under control well by Callum Roberts. What a goal that would have been, and he managed to pull that off. First touch, bringing the throw in under control on the edge of the penalty area, and the second on the volley, firing over the crossbar.
That was great little improvisation, weren't it? Good throw, good bit of movement. Just flicked it up on his left foot from his right foot. Just had a dipping volley, but just didn't dip soon enough. But great technique from Roberts.
Chester have the ball here with Motley Henry. Tried to guide it in behind a couple of Iron players for Weeks to run onto. Scunthorpe United alert to that. They put it out for a throw in front of the Iron technical area. Weeks back to Burke. Now it's Rawlinson in the centre circle. Scunthorpe United have all of their outfield players behind the ball, still intent on frustrating the visitors. Kevin Roberts is met by the press of Mo Federa, so he's forced backwards to Harrison Burke. Rawlinson is directing him to go out wide to the left, and Burke does. Finds Nathan Woodthorpe. Protests from behind the goal saying that has gone out, and the assistant linesman over on the far side agrees. Scunthorpe United throw as the clock continues to tick down at Glanford Park.
Yes, Chester find it really struggling to try and break Scunthorpe defensive shape down, and so as soon as they lose possession, work really hard on their shape, obviously, because the way they've done this is kind of to a T, really nullified Chester throughout the 85 minutes so far, and they've not really created many chances at all, Chester.
Kevin Roberts funnels the ball back to Declan Weeks on the edge of the centre circle. Now it's Kevin Roberts again, wide on the right-hand flank. Jinks away from Mo Federa, back inside to Weeks. 40 yards from goal, tried to push the ball forward to Kurt Willoughby. Cut out, Chester will try again here, but Denton is in there quickly, ahead of Motley Henry to slice the ball out of play for a throw-in. Kevin Roberts to take it, midway inside the Scunthorpe United half. Goes back to the halfway line to Harrison Burke. Burke into Bainbridge inside the centre circle, is watched closely by Joe Rowley. Burke tries that ball from right to left again. Woodthorpe is much further infield, so no chance of that going out for a throw as we head into the final 5 minutes of normal time here on BBC Radio Humberside Sports. Still Scunthorpe United 2, Chester 0. Weeks, long from him. Denton with the header away. Sliced up into the air by Michael Kelly. Weeks again on the ball. It'll be left for Kelly to clear again. Up into the centre circle. Beck brings it down. Bainbridge is left on the floor. Beck swings it to the left to Scales, who is barged off it by Harrison Burke. Fairly, according to the referee. The Iron trying to win it back high at the park here. Callum Roberts doesn't succeed in doing so. And here is Kurt Willoughby. Pirouettes away from Michael Clunan. Burke into Weeks. Now it's Mooney. Tries to burst away from Callum Roberts. Keeps going down that left-hand flank. Delivers the cross. Coogan clears at the near post. Chester try again. Weeks drives it from left to right. Denton with the header. Drops to Bainbridge on the edge of the penalty area. Blocked by Denton. And Rowley is there to slice away. Balloons off the chest of Mark Beck. Not sticking for him. Chester keep going. Over to the left with Mooney, attacking his man Kelly, comes inside onto his right foot. Kelly stands his ground, blocks the shot. Beck can only head away, not too far though. Burke into Weeks, 30 yards from goal, another shot's blocked. Andy Butler wants his team to move out. They're camped just in front of their own penalty area. Rawlinson, just on the edge of the centre circle, right of centre. Another ball over to the far side is intercepted by Callum Roberts. Launched over the top, foot race between Mo Federa and Kevin Roberts. Federa will get there first, into the penalty area, onto his right foot. Federa! Game, set and match. Scunthorpe United in this top of the table clash in the National League North. And it's Mo Federa who has seen off second place Chester for the league leader Scunthorpe United. Long ball over the top from Callum Roberts. Federa showed Kevin Roberts a clean pair of heels. Got to the ball first, into the penalty area, onto his right foot, and he's driven home past Jimmy Storer. In the 83rd minute, it's Scunthorpe United 3, Chester 0.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for Kevin Roberts there. As soon as that ball went over the top, it was a great ball from Roberts, 60, 70 yard ball over the top. He just looked like he was treading water. He was never going to catch Federa. Anyway, managed to get behind him and then checked back onto his right foot, delayed, feinted to shoot, took another touch and then smashed it in from about 8 yards out. Fantastic bit of play. Everything's gone perfect for Andy Butler. The decision to play people out of position with Michael Kelly, the substitutions have been spot on. It's been an all-round perfect day for Andy Butler so far.
Big win this for Scunthorpe United and a damaging defeat for Chester because Kidderminster Harriers and Brackley Town both winning today. So in terms of the table, Chester from second, they drop down to fourth. And at the moment the Iron are opening up a 4-point lead at the top of the table ahead of Brackley Town in second, who of course have that big game in hand against Kidderminster Harriers in third still to come. Rawlinson into the centre circle with Burke. Andy Butler is going to be making a triple substitution here. Andrew Boyce, Joe Starbuck and Luke Williams will all be coming on as we enter the final minute of normal time here on BBC Radio Humberside Sport. Scunthorpe United 3, Chester 0. Who would have predicted that just shy of 3 o'clock? Bainbridge. His looping ball forward is cleared away. Declan Weeks retrieves it, has done well to wriggle free of 2 challenges and then is hacked down by Kean Scales, 30 yards from goal. Free kick. And here will come that triple substitution in the 90th minute. So Boyce, Williams and Starbuck all coming on. And leaving the field, firstly, is Michael Clunan, who also gets a standing ovation from the home supporters here. Many more fans rising to their feet. Clunan is the first to come off, Callum Roberts the second, whose opening goal back in the 37th minute seems like a long time ago. His 21st of the season, and the final change will be Tyler Denton coming off for Joe Starbuck.
Is number 6, Andrew Boyce, sponsored by Councillor Tony Gosling, and replacing number Tyler Denton, sponsored by Get Home Advice.
Surely as well, we will get an indication as to how many minutes will be added on, and right on cue, the fourth official holds up his LED board, Samuel Clayton, indicating that there will be a minimum of 5 minutes of additional time at the end of this second half.
The official has indicated 5 additional minutes, minimum of 5
Free kick then for Chester to pull a goal back, and it will be left for Kurt Willoughby to take, right-footed, about 30 yards from goal, right of centre. It's a 4-man wall for Scunthorpe United in the D. Willoughby over the wall. Oh, what a free kick that is from Kurt Willoughby. Ross Fitzsimons just had to watch and admire that fly into his top left-hand corner. Could it be a consolation goal, or could it launch a miraculous comeback for Chester? It's a brilliant free kick from Kurt Willoughby for his 5th of the season. Scunthorpe United 3, Chester 1 in the 92nd minute. And unfortunately, there's another flare that has been thrown on the field from behind the goal in the south stand among the Chester supporters.
Yeah, it was a fantastic free kick. Near enough central, put about 25 yards out. It looks like Fitzsimons central to the goal, but he got so much whip and power and pace on the ball that Fitzsimons didn't even attempt to dive or attempt to go for it. It just went in the kind of top left-hand corner. Disappointed, because I know they like to build themselves on clean sheets, especially Fitzsimons, the goalkeeper and the back four. But man, that's really come out of the blue, that goal, and it'll be the only disappointment from this afternoon if it stays like it does.
So we're waiting at the moment for the latest flare to be thrown on the field to be dealt with. It's another one that's emitting yellow smoke at the moment, probably right by the penalty spot, as the security guard at the moment is waiting for that smoke to die down before dealing with the flare. So everyone's in position at the moment. Let's bring you the latest scores elsewhere in the National League North this afternoon. Buxton are 1-0 down at home to Kings Lynn Town. Buxton down to 10 in that game as the flare has been dealt with. Chorley 2, Alfreton Town 0. Darlington 1, Rushall Olympic 2. Hereford 2, Curzon Ashton 1. Kidderminster Harriers 3, Needham Market 1, as we are back underway following that Kurt Willoughby goal. Leamington 2, South Shields 0. Marine 2, Peterborough Sports 1. Oxford City 4, Warrington Town 0. As Mo Federa goes down under a challenge from Kevin Roberts, no free kick given. Radcliffe 1, Brackley Town 2. Southport 0, Scarborough Athletic 1. And Spennymoor Town 4, Farsley Celtic 0. Throw for Chester here. We've played 3.5 minutes of the 5 at the end of this second half, but you'd expect there'd be a bit more added on due to that flare having to be dealt with, which delayed the restart following Kurt Willoughby's stoppage time goal. Kelly goes long, has gone back in at his favoured spot of left back, with Joe Starbuck slotting him on the right hand side of defence, playing at wing backs with 3 centre halves of Coogan, Boyce and Evans. Scunthorpe United clear their lines. It's out for a Chester throw-in. Rawlinson lobs it back to Jimmy Storer. Storer, right-footed, slammed into the Scunthorpe United half. Dylan Motley-Henry wriggles around the back of Michael Kelly, but he can't stop that long ball forward from going straight out of play for a throw-in. And taking their time, waiting for the ball to be thrown back onto the field from the main west stand here. Eventually Evans gets it. Evans readying the throw, taking as long as possible, and just goes down the line. Beck with the header on, flicked out of play by Harrison Burke for another Scunthorpe United throw, and it's finished in our other commentary. Grimsby Town 1, Newport County 0 in League 2. So we'll be reuniting our frequencies in a moment, as there is a yellow card here for Michael Kelly for time wasting. I think Scunthorpe United were taking the Michael there in terms of how long they were taking with the throws. Evans long, who's got the final touch on that. Scunthorpe United player, so it's a Chester throw in, back with Storer. as the whistles start from the Donny Road end to our left-hand side, urging the referee to bring an end to this game. Still we continue. Scunthorpe United give away another free kick for a foul on Dylan Motley-Henry. They'll push pretty much everyone forward. Kevin Roberts will be the last line of defence inside the centre circle, but Harrison Burke and Connell Rawlinson have gone up from the back. Weeks over the free kick, swings it in, right-footed, header up into the air. Kelly has missed it, acrobatic kick away by Joe Rowley, and it's cleared. Federa will go and chase it down. Roberts has enough time to head that across to his right-hand side, but Weeks can't stop it from going out for a Scunthorpe United throw-in. We've played 6 minutes of additional time now. The referee has his whistle in his right hand, but not close yet to bringing it towards his lips. Still Scunthorpe United eating up time over the throw. Evans again takes down the line. Beck heads it inside. Federa will go and chase it down, but there's a clearance away by Rawlinson. Boyce knocks it back into the centre circle. Woodthorpe heads it down into the ground. Marauds forward, cross in from deep, arrows it into the iron box. Evans there to head away. Kelly should get their first head of Motley-Henry and fires forward on the half volley straight out of play. Referee going to his earpiece. Still we continue as we're about to reunite our frequencies. Thank you, Matt. Scunthorpe United heading towards victory here at Glanford Park in this top of the table clash. They lead by 3-1 at home to Chester, who had come into this game second in the table. We've played 7 minutes of additional time now. Action still going due to a flare being thrown onto the field following Chester's goal. Slipped in behind for Scales to run onto, and that is a massive, massive win for Scunthorpe United over their National League North title rivals Chester, in front of a record-breaking crowd here at Glanford Park of 8,274. The Iron have won by 3-1, and they end the day top of the table. They put distance between themselves and Chester, who dropped down to 4th. And now they've got Brackley Town and Kidderminster Harriers on their tails. But the Iron at the moment, 4 points clear. They went in at half-time 1-0 up through Callum Roberts' goal in the 37th minute, his 21st of the season. They doubled that lead 3 minutes shy of the hour mark through a fantastic goal from Michael Kelly, cutting inside onto his left foot and curling home from 25 yards for his first goal for the Iron since December 2023. And the points were wrapped up by Mo Federa on the counter-attack, chasing down a long ball forward, got there ahead of Kevin Roberts, cut inside onto his right foot inside the penalty area and drove home. Chester did pull one back in stoppage time. It was a consolation, a brilliant consolation, truth be told. Kurt Willoughby banging home a free kick from 35 yards into the top left-hand corner. But Scunthorpe United had done the hard yards to see home a massive 3 points here at Glanford Park. Steve Torby.
Yeah, fantastic result. It was quite an open game, to be fair, for such a high stakes. Both teams really going for it. 3 bits of quality, like you mentioned, Ollie, from Callum Roberts, especially when he pivoted for the first one, and then Michael Kelly's shot 25 yards, and Mo Federa just icing on the cake. But 3 goals from open play as well. They weren't from set pieces; they were from really well worked goals, and really some changes towards the team and formation and shape, and it's worked out perfect afternoon for Andy Butler, and a well-deserved 3 points.
Have your say on BBC Radio Humberside Sport up until 6 o'clock tonight. You can call 08000 66 5959. The text number is 81333. Start your message with the letters RH. At Humberside Sport on X. Our WhatsApp number is 08000 321 333. Again, start your message with the letters RH. And finally, the email address humberside.sport@bbc.co.uk. We're going to hand you to Matt Dean at Blundell Park for the final hour of BBC Radio Humberside Sport. But here at Glanford Park, it's finished Scunthorpe United 3, Chester 1, the Iron top of the table.
Thanks for your messages already here on the programme. Fantastic performance from the Iron today. We finally turned up in front of a big crowd, says Porthleven Iron. I've been worried about where the goals would come from without Whitehall, but the other lads stepped up to the mark. Biggest game of the season is on Tuesday now. Brackley versus Kidderminster. Praying for a draw. Thank you very much for your message. Let's get your views then between now and 6 o'clock. 81333 is the text message number. Start your message with the letters R and H. Likewise, if you send us a message on WhatsApp on 08000 321 333. They're all dropping into my inbox here on the programme. I'm reading every one that comes through, so if you fire one my way, no doubt we'll get it on air between now and 6 o'clock. We'll be to the fans panel soon. 08000 665959 is the free phone telephone number where you can talk about the Mariners and the Iron this afternoon. Gary Croft alongside me at Blundell Park. How important a win is this for Grimsby Town, beating Newport by 1-0?
Oh, you was asking me, not making a statement. Well, I mean, it's obviously huge, isn't it? You know, to keep themselves in the race. You know, two teams behind them, obviously putting pressure. There's even teams below that aren't far off, who won't giving up the fight. But I just think after the two home defeats, you know, against Notts County as well, that really hurt that one. They played really well first half. They applied the pressure. Second half, just didn't come out and do the same, did they? We wondered if they could keep it up. And the last one in midweek, well, it was on a Saturday, wasn't it, actually? Salford, they just ran out of steam, didn't they? And they just looked like they needed to regroup. The manager hadn't give up on them. He knows what he sees. He knows what they can produce. They just haven't got a big enough squad or the right level of player to sustain it over the course of every single game. But a lot of teams are struggling with the same thing, aren't they? And that's why we're still finding ourselves right in the middle of it, you know, back again after two home defeats, and you're back in the playoffs. It's remarkable, really. And, you know, there's teams below and just above who can't get the results. So, you know, today was important because Newport came here. They're obviously on the back of a lot of poor results, and we tend to struggle against these teams to sort of perform, but we got the breaks early on but didn't finish them, and you can't have thinking that, you know, you're going to get done with a sucker punch, and that's how they seemed to play, really, didn't they, on their breakaway. And they got down the left a few times, created a couple of chances. Just thought if Town go behind today, they're going to really struggle. You know, it could really hurt them to go behind. But pretty much after that one chance on the edge of the box that probably should hit the Tiger with, I think we really restricted them to minimal chances. You know, I think second half was the chance. The lad Martin again wasn't who cut in on his right foot, but Jordan Wright we've got to give some compliments to, because we were questioning his kicking. His kicking was good today, but two great saves. First one when he just read the situation and came out, controlled his box, quick off his line, and then the save to his left. Everyone played the part, didn't they, today? That was important. There's so much hard work and determination once we got in the lead to retain it and defend it and do the right thing. And it was only momentary bits of mistakes. Gave away a few too many free kicks second half and gave them a chance to put the ball in the box. But I thought Dougie Tharm at the back was great. And silently in the background, Warren was decent again today, played on the left side, tricky for him to play as a right footer there, and on the right side Rogers did his bit. I think Hume always plays his spots. Van Thorsen worked his way into midfield sometimes and won things, as did Hume as well. And in the midfield, McKecken was superb, wasn't he? Getting the ball early on a tricky pitch, he gets it anyway. He's fearless, really. It takes a brave player to keep getting on the ball like he does with players to his back, but he just knows what's around him. He was great. Green looked like he got his energy back again today, didn't he? Corey was consistent. Rose led the way.
It was a determined performance, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm going through them all, aren't I? I'm probably going on a bit. But Barrington, I think, you know, he got drafted in for his energy levels, I think, because Town, when Luke was there, I don't think they got quite the same zip. He's got the quality, we know that, but Barrington brought that bit of energy to run things away, run into channels, and he was effective. And ironically, he probably got took off just as he was kind of hitting a bit of form towards as Newport started to tire and he started to find some space. But good by the manager as well. You know, he brought off probably a little bit later than I thought he might do, but he brought Thompson to firm things up there, and he played his part when he came on. So, you know, they can look at themselves and really pat each other on the back and give each other a hug in the dressing room and say, well played today, in every sense. You know, the braveness to go and play, the pressure from the crowd, the pressure from the situation. Newport coming, having a poor away record, but then seeing them off as well, getting a goal, staying focused and determined. It's a good turning point at the right time as we enter the last sort of 8 games of the season to be pulling off that type of result.
It's set it up nicely, hasn't it, for the trip to Colchester, with them losing 4-1 at Bradford this afternoon. Town sneaking into the final